Right now, we're taking a live look out at Ashland, where community members are raising concerns about how a potential fee could impact them. As pickleball grows in popularity, Ashland Parks and Recreation is proposing fees for the courts in Lithia Park. Thanks for joining us for Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Samantha Cadera. Newswatch 12's Oscar Rodriguez spoke with community members about how they're responding to these fees.
Pickleball players in Ashland might soon have to pay a fee if they want to reserve a court to play in at Lithia Park. Ashland Parks and Recreation are implementing a $20 an hour reservation fee that they hope will start this fall.
The pickleball community would feel picked on if we were the only ones paying.
The reservation will only be available for 2 out of the 6 courts at Lithia Park. This only will take place after their open play hours, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 in the morning to 11 a.m. However, many local pickleball players are upset if this happens.
It's disappointing that they would charge us to pay to play. I feel like we already pay our taxes. You know, most people here own homes.
If this does get implemented, many players I talked to today share they would drive to a different city and play pickleball there.
I do drive out of town to play, and then I end up spending some money out of town while I'm gone.
Ashland does have their own pickleball club with over 375 active members. One of them say they have been having conversations with the Ashland Park and Rec Department to see how this would affect their club.
They're doing surveys to see what the pickleball community wants, and then they take into account what the club says. So, they're really trying to do as good as they can, given the fact that Ashland revenues are not what they expect.
Most players say they just want more courts to be built for them, as it can be overcrowded at times, and question why is pickleball the only being talked about being charged instead of other sports you can do at Lithia Park. Newswatch 12 is still waiting to hear from Ashland Parks and Rec. From Ashland, I'm Oscar Rodriguez.
Now let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman, because we did see some thunderstorms over the weekend, and where have we been seeing them today?
Some of the same areas. Let's take a live look outside right now, seeing some stormier skies looking from Wairika and Klamath Falls. Medford, some storms to the south, but we should avoid thunderstorm activity in much of Jackson County. Can't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm, but most of the focus has been to the south and to the east. Zooming in here, you can see a few storms starting to pick up in intensity towards the McDowell area, just south of Klamath Falls. Things are kind of waning a bit west of I-5 towards Etna. East of the Cascades, not too numerous as far as thunderstorms are concerned in Klamath County, but definitely much more in the way of storms as you head east of Lakeview especially. Temperatures today were hotter as expected, 95 degrees right now in Medford as well as Grants Pass. It's 90 in Montague, 84 degrees in Klamath Falls, 60s along the coast. Tonight we will see showers and thunderstorms starting to fall apart, especially once we get past sunset. Tomorrow it will be another pretty hot day inland, even a few degrees warmer than today. Some isolated storms possible west of the Cascades, but along and east of the Cascades, expecting a bit more numerous thunderstorm development for tomorrow afternoon. Can't rule out a straight thunderstorm later in the day tomorrow into the evening in the Rogue Valley, but the big thing in the valley is going to be the heat, up to around 97 degrees for a high in Medford. You can see those storm chances looking much better as you head along and east of the Cascades, and that's where we do have a red flag warning in place for tomorrow. But storm chances go up for Wednesday, expecting a pretty widespread thunderstorm development even into Jackson and Josephine County. That's for the start as well of the Josephine County Fair. I'll have more details on these storm chances through the rest of the week coming up in just a bit. Sam.
Matt, thank you. As firefighters continue to make progress on the Butler fire, the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office is downgrading several evacuations. Take a look at the new evacuation zones. The Butler fire is now 38% contained at just over 21,000 acres. Crews are conducting strategic firing operations to reduce available fuels ahead of the Fire Incident Command says falling rocks and hazard trees along the road are a concern, but they're focusing on reopening the roads and increasing containment. A forest order remains in effect for this fire. And new legislation is set to boost Oregon's wildfire response through permanent funding, making resources ready before a major fire breaks out. Governor Kotek signed House Bill 3940, which creates the State Forestry Department Large Wildfire Fund. This bill allocates $150 million toward fire suppression and another $117 million for community prevention and resilience efforts. Funding will come from interest on the state's rainy day fund and tax on oral nicotine products. And new at 6 tonight, the first low-barrier year-round shelter in Siskiyou County is now open. We first told you about construction of Yreka Base Camp in May. Now 32 beds are available, as well as secure storage, mental health and substance use support, and other services. The facility also includes hydroponic gardens and wellness-focused gathering areas. Today, Governor Kotek signed several bills that create the tools needed to develop a variety of housing options. Newswatch 12's Oscar Rodriguez shows us how these bills break down barriers to affordable housing.
We want more people to own their homes and live in places they can afford. And the bills I've signed today are going to provide more guarantees that we can get there, because we're just going to make it easier to build.
Governor Tina Kotek signed 5 bills that will build housing for Oregonians that need and deserve. The 5 bills were House Bills 2138, 3031, 2258, 3145, and Senate Bill 684. Quick description of each one. 2138 will legalize and increase speed of the production of middle housing, allowing to lower the price of housing for everyone. House Bill 2258 creates pre-approved building plans and making approval process faster. House Bill 3031 makes a housing infrastructure project fund, which is designed to invest resources in transportation, water and sewer, and other site developments that are necessary to build new housing. Senate Bill 684 creates a construction revolving loan fund, a tool to provide long-term financing for mixed-income residential housing. House Bill 3145 will have $25 million in bonding to build factory-produced modular housing, meaning it can build faster and at lower cost than traditional construction.
With that extra $25 million, we're going to get more of those homes out in communities. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. We need modular. We need traditional stick. We need more middle housing. We need all of those things. And these 5 bills together will get us there.
House Bill 3145 was introduced by Ashland Representative Pat Marsh, provides Oregon developers, builders, and others the chance to test new approaches that could help break through barriers to housing production. Let alone the $25 million will be put aside to local innovation and fast-track funding to build factory-produced housing.
Today's not a victory lap. I believe in celebrating, but it's just for a day. And then we're going to get back to work because we have a lot to do.
From Medford, I'm Oscar Rodriguez.
Governor Kotek also signed a bill to expand economic opportunities for small businesses. House Bill 2337 will establish a procurement program which will prioritize small businesses in the state. The bill will incentivize state spending within communities, circulating local dollars directly back into the community. Governor Kotek says this bill will give small businesses a leg up when it comes to competing with larger companies. A $9.6 million investment is coming to Oregon to boost innovative wood products and enhance forest management. Senators Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden announced the funding from a U.S. Forest Service initiative, which will go to 17 different projects in the state. Those projects support Oregon's wood product industry and aim to create more sustainable forest management practices. A closer look at this funding can be found on kdrv.com.
Anthony, you're under arrest. Put your arms up. Right now. Turn around.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen. Hey.
The Jacksonville man who attempted to meet with a 16-year-old girl who he contacted through a social media app was sentenced today. We first told you about Anthony Wheeler in March when police shared the video of his arrest during an undercover operation. Wheeler will now spend 19 months in prison, followed by 3 years of post-prison supervision. Jackson County DA says Wheeler is also ordered to register as a sex offender. A closer look at Wheeler's case and his initial arrest can be found on kdrv.com. A creek safety watch was first issued for parts of the Bear Creek watershed after routine testing showed increased bacteria levels. The impacted areas include Neal Creek in Ashland, Ashland Creek below the dog park, and Bear Creek at Blue Heron Park, as well as Upton Road in Central Point. Residents are encouraged to avoid the water and do their part in keeping the water clean. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, along with the Oregon Department of Agriculture, have closed mussel harvesting along the southern Oregon coast due to paralytic shellfish poisoning. The closure impacts Cape Blanco down to the California border, and the area will only reopen if 2 consecutive tests show that toxins are below the closure limit. ODA says they will continue to test for shellfish toxins at least twice a month. More details on the closure can be found on our website. And construction is about to begin on a new development which outlines a pizza restaurant and a coffee shop to be built in East Medford. Take a look at the design rendering. The project is called Harbor City in Ollie's East and would be built on the corner of Hillcrest Road and North Phoenix Road. The design includes plans to build outdoor seating, a fire pit, and provide space for 3 food trucks. Construction is scheduled to begin next month after the final order on Friday. And looking ahead to this Sunday, Ashland Representative Pam Marsh is hosting a town hall to give community members a chance to respond to the outcomes of the 2025 legislative session. Marsh will provide updates on issues such as housing solutions, wildfire mitigation, and transportation funding. The event will take place at 3 p.m. at the Talent Community Center. Marsh says there will be plenty of time for community questions and for complimentary ice cream.